Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge Podcast. My name is Josh. Thanks for joining me on Full Lid Friday. Everybody loves Friday. Yes, I'm still sick. Yes, some people are asking us in the hospital. We'll do a little story time. We got a lot to talk about today, so, geez. Trisha Paytas, there's a funny video. Dougherty Dozen update what's been going on since I did a couple snark videos. Like, do people have a point? Am I too mean to Alusha? No. We're going to talk about a TikToker who usually does comedy, but had influencer kid reach out to her to read this story. And we're talking about another family on TikTok who's really, really dangerously close to Daddy of 5. Let's go. So if you can hear that, but I got a brand new 3D printer. You can see it. I assemble it on my channel. The other one didn't have an auto leveling bed, and I gotta, get up to the next level. It took me hours to sometimes level it. Didn't work. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I got this new one. It's about the same price, a little bit more. It's a lie. And it's a little bit bigger of a bed, and it auto levels. So all you have to do is plug in the damn model you want to print, and it just does it. And I love it, and you can hear it. And so what I'm doing this year, and I started this last year, is, most people have Christmas villages that they set up kind of like in their house somewhere, like those nice ones. I love them. I never had them growing up, but I always saw other people's and I was jealous, okay? So I decided, instead of doing a normal one, because I'm a different guy, I'm going to do my Christmas village with all the cool Christmas houses from all my favorite Christmas movies. And last year you saw me paint this one, which is the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation house. And I'm going to plug it in for you. Now, I know you can buy these elsewhere online generally. Somebody was pointing it out, but I wanted to do my own, paint it, and it's kind of relaxing to do like miniatures. So I'm getting into it. And so the house looks like when it's all lit up. And you can change I think you can change the way the light works. The little lights aren't shimmering, Clark, but now you can get them to shimmer. See? So anyway, that's the house. I've got the RV. It's already ready to go. There it is. This one is the first one that's going to go on my... Like, we've got a piano in the den, and so I'm going to set up like a street. There's the backyard and everything. It's all painted nice. I mean, it's not that nice. It's pretty bad, actually. But not bad for my first one, so I'm going to get better at it, I promise. I even bought a little airbrush so I can do cool stuff with it. So the one I'm printing now is Kevin McAllister's house, and then I think next year I'm going to do Christmas of the Cranks. I want to do the little tiny house from... What's the movie? The Holiday, the little cottage, the Rose Hill cottage. That's my wife's one that she wants. If you guys have some cool ideas for which houses I can create, and I can even create, like... inside. It doesn't have to be the outside of the house. So like what my dream would be is like how I'm building Everly's dollhouse. I would love to build a house that opens like Kevin McAllister's house and show you all like the traps he did and stuff. Like, oh, I'd just love to I wish I was more talented, but that's my dream. Anyway, this Christmas I'm going to be doing the other house that I did already print for Kevin McAllister, and I'm going to be giving it away to one of you guys because I don't want it. So anyway, sorry, I don't know why. We have to dance, right? Damn, I keep forgetting. So much shit to do. Anyway, before we get what we're talking about today, we gotta do a little dance. I always gotta do a little dance, and I know I'm feeling sick, so it's just gonna be a little let's gonna do a chair dance because I really feel bad.
Yeah, baby.
Kimberly Knapp, congratulations. If you win, reach out, josh@thedadchallengepodcast.com for your prize. You just have to send me your shirt size and your address, and I will hook you up. Someone mentioned that they were at their spin class or something, and this song came on? Badass. And then she told everybody about me, and I was like, that's awesome. I don't know if I say this enough, but thank you for spreading me. That sounded bad. But you know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people are like, you got to check out this guy, Josh, Dad Challenge Podcast, and so many come by word of mouth. And I really, really appreciate that. I've been getting a lot of messages lately that people have been watching it with their kids. And I'm like, ooh, maybe I got to cut back on the swear words a little bit. Just, and if you're going to do that, fine. But maybe I just got to chill. I don't know. But I really appreciate you guys. And yeah, here's the hospital bracelet. But so here's a little story time. So I have been taking a new medication. that's supposed to help with weight loss, and I'm going to be I'm documenting it in behind the scenes. I'm trying to lose a couple of pounds, and I want to try a different way because I actually have had the surgery before I had gastric sleeve long time ago. You can hear about it in my story, and it was very successful, losing over 100 pounds. I've since gained back about 35 pounds over 7 years. And just lifestyle changes have occurred, and I'm getting older, and it's getting harder to keep that weight off. And so I wanted to try something else, and my doctor was on board for trying something. So I'll tell you all about what I'm trying later. But 3 weeks into this new medication, and I'm like, I'm pissing brown. And the only other time I've ever pissed brown in my life was when I had kidney stones. And it's obviously blood in the pee, right? So I was like, okay, whatever. I told wifey, she's like, you got to tell somebody. So I called doctor, didn't call me back. It is what it is. Doctor's busy. So 2 days go by, and it got less, and then it got worse. So I'm peeing straight Coca-Cola Classic in the toilet. I'm like, okay, this is bad. If your piss is brown, go to the doctor. I'll tell you guys. Anyway, so I get to the doctor yesterday around 7:30 at night. And, well, I called telehealth first because we have in Ontario, we have this place called telehealth. Ask a nurse what you think. It was going to take 3 hours to speak to a nurse. So, and again, this is not a failure of nursing or doctors. This is a failure of Doug Ford, our premier, which is like your senator or your something like that. He's the premier of Ontario. Like, he's like the prime minister of Ontario, if that makes sense, right? The leader. And he's a dickhead, and he doesn't pay nurses what they're owed. And so many nurses and doctors have quit and are not coming back. He's a penis. Nobody likes him. And so our system is absolutely collapsing in on itself. And a lot of people are like, oh, you're so lucky, Josh, you get to go to the hospital for free. Yeah, it's not for free, everybody. Don't forget that in Canada, we pay almost 50% tax when all is said and done. I'm taxed like 35% of my paycheck. And then when I go get food, or if I go get to the movies, or if I buy clothing, I'm taxed another 15% HST, harmonized sales tax, on top of the money that I've already been taxed for. We are taxed so high here. Our property taxes are massive. Our federal and provincial taxes are maxed out to we are maxed, okay? It's really, really difficult to get ahead in this country. I promise you. Yes, the healthcare is there, but it's really not, considering how much we pay for it. And Doug Ford refuses to pay our nurses in Ontario what they're owed, what they're deserved, because they're the rock stars. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased because my wife's a nurse, but it's the truth. They're just not being paid what they're owed, and nobody wants to be a nurse. And so I get to the place. I get seen in about, 2 hours. Doctor's like, okay, well, you got brown piss. Come back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Make sure you drink tons and tons of water. So I get back there this morning. I was about there for about 3 hours yesterday for him to tell me that. Right? I get back this morning at my appointment. I get my ultrasound, 9 a.m., and I wait till noon. I was just sitting there. And I went up to him, I'm like, is there any way you can just send this to my doctor? Maybe I can. And she's like, oh, sorry, we forgot about you. Like, people are falling through the cracks. Not their fault. Again, guys, I'm not trying to blame nurses or anything like this. This is absolutely not. This is the fault of the government not putting enough money into our medical system when we pay for it. Right? I know it's true that if I had brain cancer, I go get the shit and help me. But there are people who are dying waiting for healthcare. So it's not all it's cracked up to be. Yes, if I had my choice, I'd probably live in the States, in a state like Florida, Texas, or somewhere that has almost no state taxes. It would still be, I'm telling you, 50% more. It'd be still like way, 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 way cheaper to buy the most expensive healthcare for my family if I lived in the States and made the money that I made. Like, way cheaper, considering how much I get taxed. Okay, so that's story time for the day. So I don't even know what's wrong with me yet. If you guys are wondering, I don't know. It could be a kidney stone, but it's not like my other kidney stones. Usually when I take a wee-wee, I can feel it in the head of my wiener. It feels like I have to pee, right? But I don't. It means that there's a kidney stone coming through. It's like there's a little clog. And this time I don't feel the pain. So I'm a little bit like, what the hell's going on? So I don't know. Kathy thinks because I played 3.5 hours of pickleball the other night and I went really hard. And apparently if you go too hard, your body can like dump like proteins and shit into your bladder. And I'm like, well, damn. So yeah. Maybe I'm going to die or whatever. So this might be my last episode, but thanks for joining me. Anyway, that's story time for today. Let's move on. I want to point out this TikTok. Okay, we're going to get to douche mom of the day first. Ashley Vlaz, who is main Ashley Vlaz, is Cassandra Dracking. I don't know. She is a TikToker that people have sent me this video over and over and over again. And these kids, I think the oldest might look like she's maybe 15. Maybe, but I need you to watch this video. Obviously, I'm going to blur their faces. You tell me this is not like Daddy of 5 level, okay?
Why did God give me girls? Because Luna's just such a little fuck.
So that little girl, who's the youngest, said because Luna or whatever her name is such a little F-U-C-K. She said that. That girl's maybe 8, 9 years old, 10, maybe.
You say that.
Because
That's why you pissed the bed still.
And then she says, that's why you pissed the bed still.
that's why you pissed your fucking pants and you shit.
You're a liar. You pissed the bed.
No, you shit your pants.
Ah!
Who shitty underwear is in the freaking bathroom?
Mom's just filming this, laughing at these kids whose shitty underwear is in the thing, and you effing pissed your pants and this and that, and Mom's just laughing, filming this stuff.
I see.
Yours.
Overshaped where you are. You spit on me.
There's a couple things you see right away. The kids aren't wearing seatbelts, okay? Why do these people always insist, and I'm glad that they do, why do they always insist on showing how negligent they are by not putting their kids in seatbelts? For one, while they're driving. If you want to show how trash you are, film yourself with your child without proper seats and without restraints and seatbelts. Tell me you're the worst, shittiest parent in the world without telling me. That's how you tell me. The second is the language, obviously, and then the comments are clear. The comments are clearly, I said you're a real piece of shit for putting this on the internet. You must be so proud. And then there's comments like 292 comments on that. She's probably very proud. Why wouldn't she be? Are you serious? Why wouldn't she be? Kids just don't know cuss words, right? Good language. It's all on you, Mom. She'd be so proud. People are like standing up for this, Mom. Like, let your kids do what you want. This is where we're headed. This is the generation, my age, that has raised people to be like completely no longer present in their child's lives and giving them modesty, privacy, and the ability to like be punished. Nothing. It is insanity. And someone will say, honestly, they feel comfy doing this in front of Mom because it's a safe place. I'm sure they don't do this in public. Caitlin, this is the public. Absolute idiot. This is more than public. This has been played 8.4 million times, 29.5 thousand shares and saves, 956,000 likes. Yeah, this isn't public though. But the issue is that they feel safe, eh? Not wearing seatbelts. It's not a skit. It's not, and even if it was, it wouldn't be appropriate. Girl, and then someone's like, girl, worry about your own kids. No, if you're gonna put this shit on the internet, you better be prepared to get the freaking heat. This type of behavior is starting to become a big problem on the internet. Everybody should learn from Daddy-O5, but they don't. This is Daddy-O5 level garbage. That little girl there is clearly bullied by everybody in her family. She is the brunt of everybody's jokes. And I've only seen 3 videos and I can already tell she's the one with the biggest attitude because she's the one who's bullied the most. You're gonna see this family again, like Daddy-O5, end up losing custody of their children. I'm saying it right here. Okay? I don't care what anybody says. That's going to happen. And here she is. This is what she looks like. She is absolute and utter trash. You're garbage and you should feel ashamed of yourself. Put your damn kids in seatbelts. Stop putting them on the internet with this type of language. Because no matter what you think there, asshole. Okay, no matter what you think. This stuff might be funny and laughable now, but this shit's forever and it will follow those girls forever. No matter what they do, they're not going to be able to escape this now because you think it's fun to exploit your children like this. So you know what? Douche mom of the day, get wrecked, asshole. So this is another one that a lot of people sent me. It's from a creator called, what's her name? Caroline Easom. And I'll let you guys watch it.
Hi, my name is Caroline and I usually do comedy. What I'm about to share with you is not comedy, but it is incredibly important and I beg you to stay. Usually I make silly skits and sometimes I use those skits to talk about issues that I think are important.
But she says, sharing an anonymous letter from a teen from a family vlog channel. Now I'm reading that out because a lot of people ask me to sometimes read it out because they're listening to this instead of watching it, so that's why I do that.
And one of those issues is the protection and safety of kids on the internet, particularly kids that are being used in monetized channels. A teen that has had their entire childhood monetized reached out to me and they told me to keep doing what I'm doing and they shared their story with me. What I'm about to share with you is an anonymous letter from a teen that has gone through all of the things that I've tried to bring awareness to and more. They are not in a position where it is currently safe to share their story publicly, but if you trust me, you will trust that I have verified that this is 100% real.
I have no reason to believe why she would do this. She's a comedian who brings light to this stuff. So I'm going to choose to believe her.
Here we go. To any parents that are considering starting a family vlog or monetizing your children's lives on the public internet, here is my advice. You shouldn't do it. Any money you get will be greatly overshadowed by years of suffering and very hard work for you and your child to keep up with trends and media, and if you do manage to do it, your child will never be normal. You will be their boss and they will be your employee, which is a horrible relationship to have with your kid. It'll be hard for them to go out in public without getting noticed. You'll constantly be harassed by brands online and networks, and worst of all, your children will be sent inappropriate messages and videos.
Honestly, all that teenager had to write was that. And as a family vlogger, those people out there who this has been gone viral, by the way, and they have seen this. You know, Jess Fam and everybody have seen this. This girl's a big deal. She's a pretty big following. Okay? Jess Fam and Weiss Life and Fizz Fam and all those people that have kids that have their own social medias where they can check their own messages, every single one of them has been sent something inappropriate from a creepy predator dude on the internet. You know they have, and they'll never talk about it. Here's the problem with that. If you didn't take your child off of the internet when that first time ever happened, you are now completely complicit in anything that does happen from this point forward. You had the opportunity to say, holy shit, I'm seeing this perspective now. This is really dangerous and terrible for my child. I'm taking them off. And you chose not to.
If they have over 100K subscribers, there will be some sick guy or girl out there who puts weird comments there. I know because it happens to me all the time. My parents show me these messages, some of them, but most of the time I find them on my own and I have to sigh, screenshot them, report them, and turn off my phone.
Why would your parents show?
Because I'm in too deep, there's no going back now, and I never consented to being online. I wouldn't have been able to anyway. I was 2 or 3 when I went viral for the first time, and now there's things I just can't do. There are several things about me and my identity that the world isn't allowed to know, because I don't choose what content my parents post. The channel isn't mine. Again, they're the boss and I'm the employee. I never signed a contract, but for some reason, through some stupid legal loopholes, this is legal and I can't escape. No, I've never been hit, but my childhood came with its own trauma. I've been an employee since I was 5, and I hate it. So don't do it. If you don't regret it, then your kids will.
They don't regret it because they make a ton of money. And they don't care if their kids regret it. Well, it's just the cost of what we get to do. We get to go to Disney. We get to like have nice cars and nice houses. Don't you love that? We got all that stuff. And I bet you most of these kids will say, no, I don't. Some of them will say, yeah, they love it. But I think for the majority of them, you should just, again, this is why informed consent is such a big deal in this topic. Because you can never know what they're going to want when they're older. And if you love your children, why would you not want to set them up for success and their success for something that they want to do? What if they didn't want to share with the internet when they had their period for the first time? What if they didn't want to share with the internet the first time they shaved their legs or went to the dentist or how many times they've been to the hospital or their first kiss or their first dance? What if they didn't want to share that? A child cannot tell you that they want to. And if you take a child's consent, it's not truly consent. That is the world of consent that we live in. You can't do it. And I'm saying, like, I know I say 16, that's fine. I have to be lenient on the 16. 16, fine. Because I know a lot of intelligent 16-year-olds. I don't care how smart your child is. They'll never, ever be able to understand down the road how this will affect them. And so just play it safe and don't.
Any kids out there struggling like I am, hold on. Keep pushing for getting off YouTube. Never look up your name on any site. Never look at comments. And if all else fails, perfect your thumbnail face and fake smile and start counting down the days until you leave.
This should break everybody's heart right now.
And to my parents, if they so happen to be out there and recognize me, I'm not sorry. I think I have the right to complain on the internet after you took my childhood away from me. Love your lovely child.
Now, this kid wants to stay anonymous because they fear reprisal. What does that tell you? They're scared to talk to their parents. That should also tell you that they don't have a good relationship with their parents. Family vloggers who create content for a living coerce their children into doing this. Have you ever had a child tried something for years and years on end and was successful at it and didn't want to change it or whatever, right? Dance, ballet, figure skating, I don't know, whatever, right? A lot of kids will be, the ones who are elite, their parents push them into it, right? These kids are working. They are being forced against their will to work for their parents. And the one thing that struck me too is like keeping up with all the shit that's going on. What, slime and how to cook this and now I got to talk about going to the dentist. They all do the same shit. They all do it too. And they all go through it. Do you think the 8 passengers kids are happy with the way their lives are right now? Do you honestly believe that? Any of these kids. I know that Gabrielle Weiss, just turned 18. And I'm going to give Gabrielle the same freaking advice I'm about to give this kid. Document everything. Every view that you are in a video on, I mean every view. Okay? Math it up. Document any time your parents coerced you into doing this. Journal every time they did something without your consent. And in the end, when you turn 18, like Gabrielle Weiss did, you are going to be owed a shit ton of money. And I hope Gabrielle one day realizes what she's owed, because it's probably no joke, if not the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not million. Okay? Worth more than you know. And it's your money. And don't forget, when you turn 18, you are allowed to lobby YouTube to take your shit off. YouTube has to comply.
Just listen. Hi, my name is...
So there you go. Thank you, Caroline, for bringing that thing. And to that kid, if you're out there watching this, please take my advice and make sure you document and journal everything. Make sure you have a support system when you are ready to leave. And make sure you have a friend or a family member that you can trust with this information. Okay, let's do a quick update on Dougherty Dozen. Since I did my video on their whole drunken debacle or whatever, there's a couple things that happened. Somebody on the, if you haven't gone to the Dougherty Dozen on Reddit, go to Dougherty Dozen and join up there. There's people who wrote this. Calls have been made to CPS. Someone said they made, again, I can't stop you guys from calling CPS, but I can tell you what's going to happen, and it's going to be absolutely nothing. Because CPS has bigger fish to fry. These kids are fed, they have shoes, and they're doing okay. In the ultimate grand scheme of things, there are a lot of kids in a lot worse situations, obviously. The only thing I really advocate for on here is these kids' futures, and there's not really much CPS can do about what they're doing. If it's not illegal, it's not abusive in their eyes. What's going to happen, though, is later down the road, when these kids get catfished or stalked or hurt or kidnapped, CPS is out of the picture at that point anyway. So CPS won't do anything except maybe open a file and maybe put a little pressure on them to stop being a bunch of assholes. They're not going to be able to do anything. So don't waste your time. CPS is useless. They try, not really. They're garbage. Just like the system here. It's overwhelmed, and they're much worse off. There's a kid in Florida. Remember those kids that literally stayed in a room with their dead brother for 5 weeks or something? CPS was there multiple times. CPS is garbage. It needs to be completely overhauled. So I want to say that. There's nothing they're going to do about it. But if you did want to do something about, someone brought up the idea of this Abigail's Law. So someone brought up this idea of the Abigail's Law, which I'm not sure is law in New York yet, but basically, after drinking at a family party, Abigail Buzzard's father convinced a 17-year-old cousin with a learner's permit to drive to a convenience store to purchase more alcohol. 2 young children were placed in car seats, and a 14-year-old held 18-year-old Abigail during the drive. The young driver took a curve too fast, lost control, and the car rolled over multiple times. Young Abigail was pinned under the car and died before paramedics could reach her. It's heartbreaking. This terrible tragedy led to newly proposed law. The legislation states that a learning permit holder may not operate a motor vehicle with any front seat occupants other than the supervising driver who is not under the influence of alcohol and or drugs. The law treats a supervising driver under the influence of drugs as alcohol as a Class A misdemeanor offender. If found guilty under this classification, an offender can receive 1 year imprisonment, a monetary fine. Additionally, the legislation creates a crime aggravated assault supervising a driver while under the influence of alcohol or drugs. This new crime is a Class C felony, which can result in 4 years in prison and a $1,000 to $5,000 monetary fine. In essence, supervisors are treated as if they're operating the motor vehicle. And I thought that should have been there anyway. Someone said, I'm not sure if this law is passed, but we can see the consequence of the decision she took, and the law would view it. Yes. It passed the Senate year after year since 2009, but kept getting stopped past that. I can't find anything about it after 2017, so I think it may have been dropped since then. So it's unfortunate it never went all the way. This is such a no-brainer for me. This is like a bipartisan, yep. I don't understand why laws that are so common sense don't get put into place. So again, it might not be against law, but that's what happened with Abigail. And at least we can put enough pressure on Dougherty Dozen right now, on Alicia and Josh, to never do this again. But you know what's going to happen is that they're just not going to show it next time. What happens if something happens? Alicia, you want to be you want to be a filthy rich influencer, right? You do. You want to just continue this path? Stop making shitty decisions that put your kids' lives in danger, because it's going to take one DUI, one thing that's going to happen soon. It's going to shut your whole shit down. So live a little safer. Take a little bit better care of your children for us. Would you? Would you please? Would you do us a solid? Thanks a lot, asshole. And then there's this. These sausages look like they're literally Satan's taint. Who eats the shit? Stop feeding your kids cold food, you asshole. One thing that really gets me with Alicia is, yeah, you got to feed a lot of kids. Great. So learn to cook hot food for 12 kids. Maybe? I don't know. Just saying. Stop being a dickweed. All right, let's get on something funny. Finally, something funny. So this is Trisha doing her ASMR. See, if Trisha just did ASMR, apparently it's really good. I don't like ASMR because it creeps me out. But apparently her ASMR is really good. She does not need to exploit her child for cash. She does not need to be on OnlyFans. And apparently she just did a video recently talking about how the internet's forever. I might regret this. We'll talk about it this week, obviously. But this is funny. This is from Jaime French, who is hilarious.
All right, what'd you make up done? What'd you make it done? Oh, probably makeup.
This is brilliant.
What, sweetheart?
She looks.
It's blended. It's blended, sweetie.
This girl needs to be on SNL.
You guys are 15 years old.
Like
Beautiful.
Jaime French, you get funny ass person of the day. You're so funny. Jaime French, hilarious. Go sub to her. She's so funny. So there's a couple more things out of my plate today, but I'm only going to do one thing. So recently I was on Twitter, and as you guys know, I'm a huge Blue Jays fan. Massive Blue Jays fan. This year broke my heart. I didn't want to talk about it. I've been kind of keeping it in. But we were going to destroy the Mariners. They got lucky the first game because their pitcher was on fire. And we were supposed to have our ace, Manoah, who just decided to not be a good pitcher that day, which was great. Then we had Gausman, which is an amazing pitcher, who's I think our ace. Pitches an amazing game. And then Schneider pulls him out after 2 outs. Yeah, he loaded the bases, but he was on a roll. Schneider pulls him out. Puts, I think, Meza in? No, who is it? Meza? No, who was it that he put in? I think it was Meza. And Meza, the guy hits a grand slam. Just destroyed. And we're still up. We were up at 8-1 at one point. We were up 8-1 at one point. Then the whole game goes to shit. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm so sad and my heart's broken. So I'm on Twitter and I see this.
And he knew it right when he hit it. That's a big man. We talk about only 2 guys with over 1,000
It's a bat flip, right? You see the bat flip.
OPS. And that was him. There was one guy, I said coming in, and you don't want to bring him up.
Just watch. It's all right. Nice homer. I got it. It's a walk-off. Everybody loves that shit, right? Nothing better. But is there? Because this guy writes, hands down the greatest bat flip in MLB history. Sorry, Joey Bats, is what he's trying to say. Jose Bautista, which is arguably one of the best innings in baseball that has ever occurred, ever. I'm going to show it to you right now. Okay, and I mean the best inning in Blue Jays history for sure. And I'm talking better than Joe Carter's walk-off 1993 World Series home run. Okay, that's amazing. But let me show you something, all right? This was in 2015. Okay, this is in 2015. My wife is pregnant AF. Okay, I am just enamored with how good the Blue Jays are this year. We're in the playoffs, ALDS champ. We're in the ALDS East. We're ready to take it if we can win this game. But there's some bad calls that were made and a bad play, right? And the refs were against us the entire game. But I got to show you this inning because it's the most powerful thing you're ever going to see in your life. Buckle up. Okay, Blue Jays versus Rangers. You know the picture of the galaxies? You're not even close, dude. You're not even like anywhere near here. We're so far away from the technology that we can get you close to the galaxy. Like, I don't think we'll ever get to that technology. So if you said that, you're wrong. Because there's no better bat flip in baseball than Joey Bats. Changed my mind. Anyway, everybody take a deep breath. You're amazing, incredible, valuable, and super lovely and stuff. Thanks for joining me today. Sorry I'm sick. Yeah, it's been a day. I'm sweating. Like I literally have man flu sweats right now. I gotta go sleep. Take a weekend and just do nothing. But I'm glad you've been here. Thanks for joining me so far. This has been amazing. I'm this close to naming December, literally Dougherty Dozen December. What do you think? What do you think? All right. You guys stay classy, never fly flare, and I'll see you Monday.